some commercial for something. So I did not know how to use a looping pedal at the time, so I asked Chris from the band if he would show me, because I knew he knew. So he taught me, and I wasn't very good at it. So I said, why don't you come up on stage with me? You can play upright bass, and I'll loop my voice hopefully okay, but I won't be alone on the stage at Carnegie Hall in front of 5,000 people. And so he said, sure, I'll come. So 3 weeks went by, and I practiced pretty much every day, and I never quite got the whole thing right. I sort of would get it, and then I wouldn't get it, and it's tricky, there's the timing, and I'm not really good, I have no rhythm, so it was just really hard for me. And so I wasn't nervous until the morning of the show, when I woke up and I was like, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing yet, okay. I practiced when I woke up, and then I realized I really didn't have a lot of time. I had to sound check, so I left my apartment without an outfit and without a shower. I get to Carnegie Hall thinking there's a shower, and there wasn't one for me, so I was like, okay, awesome, my hair looks like a troll's hair, but we'll figure that out. And then I thought there'd be like all these shops around that I could go shopping, but I really didn't have time, and there really weren't many. So I went to like Ann Taylor, like button-up grown-up place, and I bought this like weird, big, black tent-like dress, and I didn't have shoes, so I was like, I'm just gonna go out barefoot. I don't even know what's going on anymore. So I sound check, I can't hear a thing, I'm just like, this is going to be awful. At least R.E.M, the band, at least they're not in the crowd, because if they were, this would just be the worst day of my life. So, about an hour before we go on stage, the producer's like, oh, good news, everybody, R.E.M can make it! They're gonna be there in the front row watching you guys. And I just remember my heart just sank, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna, this is gonna be awful. And I don't get nervous, but I was so very nervous for this. I was probably like 11th or 12th in the night, and everybody's going, everyone's doing their no, yay, and it's good. And then Ingrid Michaelson doing night swimming, and I come out on stage, Carnegie Hall, barefoot, greasy hair, big tent dress, crazy, I'm just crazy. I walk out, I'm like, looking around, there are all these people, and I'm shaking. There's 2 times I shook with fear. One was when I did Conan O'Brien for the first time, and then, for the only time, who am I? All those other times that I didn't do it, and then the second time, because I love Conan, and the second time was for this, just because I love R.E.M, and Carnegie Hall in New York, and I just didn't want to mess it up. So I'm like, shaking, and I look over at Chris for some sort of stability, and he's like, and then I just had that moment, it's like, I don't know if you've ever bungee jumped, I haven't, but I feel like it's like that, if I was too. It's like the moment where you're like, well, here goes, I could die, you know? But obviously I wasn't going to die, but that was, that's what it felt like at the time. So I stepped on the pedal, and I started this loop, and I started singing, and it's going all right, and everything's okay. And then about halfway through the song, I realized that I was like clenched. Every part of my body was just like tightly I was holding onto the mic like white knuckles. I must have looked like, the evil guy on the Smurfs, the hump and the cat, Gargamel, whatever his name was. I was like, and I was like, relax, just relax, like enjoy this wonderful moment that has been given to you, Who cares if you mess it up? Just have fun, enjoy your life, which is, I never do in my life. I never enjoy my life, ever. I strangle everything to death, so. But I actually did. I actually just relaxed, and I let go, and my voice just all of a sudden, it was like, angels and birds, and the heavens opened up. It was one of those moments. And I just, I finished the song in this very dramatic hush fell over the crowd, and then they just erupted into all this applause, and Chris and I were like, yay! When I walk off stage, and everyone's like, that was amazing! And then after the show, everyone was saying, oh, R.E.M loved you the most, you were their favorite, you're the star, you're the best. This is all actually coming from my manager, but that's why I'm here. I'm like, awesome, I'm so good and talented and brave. Even with greasy hair. And so, I'm doing really good. This is a good night for Ingrid Michaelson. I'm like, yeah, I'm the king of the world, right? Right, until the after party comes along, and I remember that I had a glass of champagne that never ended. It just did not seem to end because people kept pouring more champagne. You know, oh, good job tonight. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, good job. Oh, okay, sure, thank you. You know, and I don't drink a lot ever, so I don't. You know, 2 glasses of wine and I'm fast asleep. You know, I just can't take it. So I had like 8 or 9. I'm gonna think glasses of champagne. So it's under these conditions that I get to meet the lead singer of R.E.M, Michael Stipes, the legendary man. He, you know, glides up to me. This is my recollection of the night's events. As if on roller skates through the mist, he comes up to me and he was wearing, this could be completely wrong, but he was wearing a dark blue, navy, like, woolly vest with a blazer over it. He looked very dapper. And he said, Ingrid, that was just, you know, the most beautiful version of that song. It was, you know, amazing, and you're a genius, and you're so attractive. And that part, definitely he didn't say, but I'd like to tell that as part of the story. And I said, I actually didn't know what to say. I think famous people just scare me. So I looked at him and I was like, looping pedal. I was like, I was nervous, and shower. I was like screaming like adjectives and nouns, like, you know, shaking, you know, and he's like, cool, and then he turns around and like starts to glide away, and I'm like, no, oh no, Ingrid, no, idiot, you know. This can't be the moment that you have with him. And so like, I don't know why, but I reached out. I mean, I know why, but it was inappropriate. I reached out, and I kind of grabbed his shoulder. Like he was turning away from me. Okay, that's, you know, a human sign for we're done with this conversation. But I'm like, no, we're not. And I reached, so he's here. Like, I'm here, he's here. He turns. I reach across him, grabbing him here, and he's like in mid-turn, and so like physics really drags my hand across his chest, like sexually, like sensually, and I'm tugging at his sweater vest like, no, don't leave me, and now he's fully turned around, and I have a, you know, a good fistful of shoulder fabric in my hand, and he turns around and he just kind of gave me this look like, this conversation is over. And I was like, okay. Well, and I was kind of, he's like, was enveloped in people and mist. I just keep saying mist because that's what the whole night became to me. And so what I learned from that night was, you know, you can be proud of yourself up to a point, but once you get a little too high on your own mountain, somebody or something or yourself, you will knock yourself down. And then, you know, it was, the first part of the night was great, second part not good at all, and the morning after was the worst thing in my life. Kids, don't drink. Child over there, don't start that gin habit that I talked about earlier. Just say no to gin. But vodka's fine, sure. A little apple juice and vodka. I'm just kidding. I don't drink. I don't even know if that would be good together. So that's my story about this song, and I love to perform it. It's so special to me because it does symbolize a life lesson learned, and it's also just such a beautiful song. So I'm going. You know, I love performing it when I do it right, when I do it well, so I'm gonna attempt to perform it well for you tonight. sure all these people understand. It's not like years ago, the fear of getting caught and the recklessness of water. They cannot see me making these things, they go away, replaced by everyday nights swimming, remembering that night. And September's coming soon, and I'm pining for the moon. And what if there were two side by side in orbit around a fair sun, that bright tight forever, not described night swimming. You, I thought I know you, I cannot judge. You, I thought you know me, this one laughing quietly underneath my breath. Night swimming deserves a quiet night.